Hello, welcome again to another lesson. My name is Kenneth Acha. You are probably at a place where you are starting your nonprofit organization and you have come to the point that you need to have board members and you want great board members. Or you are either at a place where you have already started your organization and initially you had your friends and family members on the board just to get you started, and you now want to have a stronger board that will really help you be able to achieve the goals that your organization has. Well, if you are at this place and you are basically looking for competent people, you want to find people that will help you take your organization to the place where it wants to go, then what you are asking yourself is, what are the qualities that I need to be able to find in great board members? Who should I be looking for to be able to help me take my organization to the next level? Well, I'm going to answer that question in this lesson, and I'll share with you 10 qualities of great board members. Let's get right into it. Again, we're talking about 10 qualities of great board members. And before I go in, I want to say something about these great board members. The thing about greatness as a board member is that it's not dependent on the person, it's dependent on the needs of the organization. So a great board member is not a great board member because they're a great person. They're a great board member because they meet the needs that the organization has in a way that very few other people will be able to meet. They meet the unique needs of your organization, and those unique needs are dependent on the circumstances and the opportunities, the challenges that the organization has to go through. So you are looking for board members that are a fit to your organization. You're not looking for board members that you admire. They may be great individuals, but they're not great board members for your organization unless they bring skills that are able to meet challenges and opportunities that the organization has. That's a very crucial one. When that is considered, then you see that the best people to be able to find board members are people who know their organization very well. They know where the organization is coming from. They know where the organization is right now, and they know where the organization should be going. They know the mission, the vision, the goals. So to be able to find good board members, you have to do your homework. You have to basically stop and think, what are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year goals of the organization? And then not only so, you have to start thinking, who do I need to bring on board that will have the skills that will help us be able to accomplish these goals? This is key. This is crucial. So you don't just go look for board members if you don't first do your homework and take the time to think and say, okay, where is our organization like? What resources do we have? What opportunities do we have? What challenges? What do we need? That's key. So let's look at 10 qualities that all great board members need to have, irrespective of your organization. After studying your organization and knowing your individual needs, you will be able to use these 10 qualities to help you spot the right people for your organization. Let's get right into it. Well, you need people who have expertise. You need people who have expertise, experience, and specific skills that match your organization's goals and current needs. In other words, you need to have people who have talent, but only talent that you need as an organization. Not talent that you love, but talent that you need. The next thing that you need to be looking for is people who have a passion. People who have a passion and are committed to your organization's mission. All these need to be mission driven. Your search for board members need to be mission driven. People who have a passion in your mission, who are committed to your mission. The first one we saw again was people who have expertise that will help you accomplish your mission. So point number 2 again, you need people who are passionate, who are committed to your organization's mission. If these people are not motivated and interested in your mission, well, they are no use for you. You will not be able to motivate them to do work if they're not motivated by themselves. If they're not self-motivated, they could have all the expertise that your organization needs. But if they do not have passion and motivation and interest in what the organization does, you are not going to use them because they will be a headache for you. Don't use them, okay? The third thing that we need is time. Expertise is not enough. passion is not enough. Time. You have to have people who have time to be able to effectively serve on your board. You cannot have people effectively give the best if they don't have the time to do that. Serving on a board needs real time commitment. It's like taking a part-time job. Many people are going to be wanting to serve on your board, but you have to screen them by those who have the time to be able to do a good job. Most of this you can screen out by setting good expectations, by having a clear job description for what board members have to do. It's not just a description of what board members do, because there are roles and responsibilities that all board members of all nonprofit organizations and for-profit organizations all over the world get to do. There are roles like that. I'm talking about specific detailed description of where your organization is and what your board members will actually be doing. When you do that, you set good expectations, and then your board members are able to follow, and you increase the chances that the work that they need to do is going to actually get done. But there are also some people that are going to say yes. Even when you've set good expectations, explain to them. They are people that think they could put everything on their plate and still run it just fine. But if you bring in those kind of people, even though they say yes, they can do it, they're going to be a headache, because when push comes to shove, they are not able to actually get the work done. I used to have a sister that we used to go to church with, a great, amazing sister, but every time something comes up in church and they say they need a person to do this or that, her hand goes up. She was married, had children, had a husband, but her hand would go up for anything, and the pastor quickly knew that this sister has a big heart, but not enough hours in a day to be able to do everything. So she was the kind of person, when she sends her hand up, the pastor and the leaders would basically make sure that if they could find somebody else, they would take that person, and then only take her if they could make sure that she actually has not overbooked herself. Some people tend to overbook themselves because they are passionate about the mission with you. They may have the expertise, they may have the passion, but they don't have the time. They can't do a great job. They love the work that you do. They want to be a part of it, but they can't be a part of it because they don't have the time. Many of these people will want to jump at it and say, yes, I'm passionate about it. I want to do it. I want to help these children. I want to help these homeless people. I want to help this company get to where it needs to go. I believe in it, but make sure they have the time. Make sure they have the time. The next thing is great leadership qualities. Expertise or talent, passion, and time are not enough. Talent, passion, and time are not enough. You need people who have great leadership qualities, okay? Your board is going to be the supreme leadership unit of your organization. They'll be setting the tone for everything else that happens in your organization. What happens to your board determines what happens to your organization. So you want people that are great leaders, okay? You want people that are great leaders, and great leaders are great team players. So these people who are great leaders are going to be also great team players. You want them. You want great leaders, great team players on your board. The next thing is you want people who are seers, discerners, and visionaries, as I call it. You want people who can understand the past circumstances of your organization and then understand the present circumstances of your organization and have the foresight to be able to steer your organization in a way that it takes the organization, misses all the obstacles that could bring your organization down, and take your organization to success. You need these people who are visionaries, okay? You need them on your board to be able to help you steer and dream together, because your board is the boss of everybody else, including the founder in the organization. Boards can fire the founder, boards hire the leadership executive team of the organization, and they are the boss. You want a good boss. You want a boss that can steer the organization in the right direction. The next thing that we should be looking for is people who have wisdom and courage. To lead an organization to success, you need people who have wisdom and courage to be able to face challenges and stand courageous. People who are not afraid to make tough decisions and to choose things that may seem risky but that are in the best interest of the organization. Wisdom and courage have to go together. Then the seventh thing that I think is crucial is that people need to be dead to self and alive for the mission. They need to be dead to self and alive for the mission. What do I mean by that? I mean that you need board members who have surrendered their own interests and they live for the interests of the organization. They want to put the interests of the organizations first at all times in everything that they do in their job as board members. You don't want people who have a self-interest to promote to be board members because they're only going to bring you some trouble. You want these people who are dead to self and alive for the mission. Okay, you want them on your team. The eighth thing to look for is that you want people who are willing to raise the capital, to raise the money, to fundraise. Not everybody feels comfortable fundraising. You want to be able to look for people who can be willing to fundraise for your organization, because one of the key duties of the board is to provide the resources that the organization needs. Board members that don't want to fundraise or that feel sort of shy and they don't want to put themselves out to fundraise, you don't want those board members. You want people who, they don't have to be good experts at marketing or people who are all extroverts and want to stand in front of any crowd and talk and raise money. No, you don't need only those kinds of people. You need people who are willing to participate in fundraising and in giving to the mission, whether it's in behind the scene and planning and helping and talking to people they know and bringing up ideas. You want those people, not just the extroverts, okay? 9, you want people who have connections and who have links to resources in the community so that they can bring their resourcefulness to the team and become an asset to the organization. Remember, you're thinking about the needs of the organization with every decision you make about recruiting board members. That's crucial. And then the 10th and final one is chemistry, compatibility. You do not want to ignore this one. You are bringing in people to become part of a team. You want to make sure, is this board member going to be compatible? Is he going to have chemistry with the current team? You don't want to bring people who will have an antagonistic attitude or philosophy that does not mix well with those that you currently have. They will become a hardship for your organization. Do not ignore chemistry, okay? Do not ignore chemistry. Just being a good person, expert, having skills does not mean that you will fit well within an environment. In some cases, you want somebody who has less expertise, but who can complement and fit in well, because when people fit in well, when your team is united, you could do great things. You've probably heard about basketball teams and football teams that have stars on the team, but they don't win games because they don't have a united team. They don't have communication. They don't have a chemistry that works within the team that makes those individually strong and capable and talented players to become good players for the team as a whole. You could have good board members who are experts, who are talented in the individual areas, who bring skills that the board needs. But if they cannot come together and be united and work as one and have chemistry together, they're not going to go very far. You want that. So we've talked about 10 qualities that a good board for you will need. You need expertise, passion, time. You need great leadership qualities and great team work. You need seers and discerners and visionaries. You need wisdom and courage in these people. You need people who have surrendered their own interests but live for the interests of the mission. You need people who are willing to raise money. You need people who have connections and chemistry. I hope you use this, and these will help you be able to select great board members. I want to see your organization succeed. Pay attention to the kind of people you bring in. The kind of people you bring in will determine how people see your organization, because the board is the leadership. They represent the organization. It will determine the effectiveness of your organization. Also determine if your board even attains its goals, if it leads your organization to success.